The world needs to know that diabetes is a lot more than what meets the eye. Whenever I tell my friends about my condition and my diabetes, everyone's always shocked about the insulin injections and the carbohydrate counting and the basic components of what I do to treat this disease. But what they don't hear is the infinite factors that goes into my treatment decisions as well. So for example, am I going to exercise in the next 6 hours? Am I stressed about an exam or just a life event outside of my physical being, but also my mental being? Stuff like that has a huge impact on my blood sugars from day to day. And it's really just a calculated guessing game to keep my blood sugars where they need to be, on top of just simple counting carbohydrates and taking insulin for those carbohydrates. There's no formula that's going to get you through it perfectly, and you could do the exact same thing one day and do the exact same thing the next day, and you might have two completely different results, and that's just the nature of the disease and something that you have to do your best to cope with and predict every day to be successful with this disease. Access to diabetes care is extremely important for the success of the diabetic or the person with diabetes. Diabetes has enough requirements that without proper access to the care, it's physically impossible to manage. I know for me, the most important aspect of my success is just the support of those around me, especially my doctors. And so I can't imagine not having my doctor to guide me through treatment decisions when I'm having a rough week or a rough day. It's also access to insulin, a drug that's commercially available and it's relatively cheap to produce, should not be so expensive that patients aren't able to get it and that patients have to rely on alternative insulins that might not work as well. I know there's way too many instances of that around the country and around the world, especially in these days. That's unacceptable, and diabetes care needs to be available to everyone to make this already complicated disease at least manageable in some way, shape, or form.